There's a graveyard of failed marketing campaigns and 95% of them died from the same disease. Right now, I want you to think about your current messaging. Do your words reflect what your customers are actually saying and thinking, or are you just guessing? Your marketing isn't failing because you're not spending enough or because you're using the wrong tactics. It's failing because you're telling your customers what you think they want to hear instead of what they actually need to hear. I was scrolling through my emails yesterday when I saw one that stopped me cold. The subject line said, "Help, nothing is working." It was from a business owner who'd been following my content for months. She wrote, "Allan, I've tried everything, new website, Facebook ads, even hired a copywriter. My business should be growing, but I'm stuck. What am I missing?" Here's what I told her. It's the same mistake that's causing businesses to leave millions of dollars on the table. I said, "You're solving the wrong problem. You're focused on tactics when you should be focused on language. You're speaking to your customers in a way that makes perfect sense to you, but sounds like gibberish to them." See, there's a graveyard of failed marketing campaigns and 95% of them died from the same disease. They were created in boardrooms instead of being born from customer conversations. Your marketing isn't failing because you're not spending enough or because you're using the wrong tactics. It's failing because you're telling your customers what you think they want to hear instead of what they actually need to hear. Most businesses guess what their customers want to hear. But the businesses that win, they know exactly what their customers are thinking. I'm Allan Dib, author of the One-Page Marketing Plan. I've sold over 1 million books and added tens of millions to the bottom line of businesses by mastering messaging. Today I'm going to show you the very first step of what I call the 9-step messaging framework that transforms generic messaging into magnetic messaging, the kind that your ideal customers stop scrolling and say, "This person gets me." It's a critical piece of the system we use with our accelerator clients every day to consistently break through revenue plateaus. What I'm sharing today is just one part of a complete system, but it's the foundation that makes everything work. By the end of this video, you'll have the exact process we use to extract messaging gold from customer conversations. I was talking to a friend the other day and I said, how crazy is it that 40% of companies don't even ask their customers for feedback? I mean, really, almost half the time, messaging is based on nothing but guesswork, no customer reality. Great messaging equals customer words divided by assumptions. Anyone who comes up with messaging is just guessing. We refuse to guess. Instead, we want to go straight to the source. Do you want to be like most businesses or smart businesses? Talk to customers, use their exact words. What I'm sharing today is the client experience interview framework. It's the very first thing we do with our accelerator clients, and it's a critical component of the 9-step messaging framework. If you get this first piece right, everything else becomes exponentially easier. Your ads work better, your sales conversions flow smoother, and your referrals become more frequent. In a moment, I'll share the exact interview questions we use, and you'll know how to turn those conversations into messaging that makes your prospects say, "That's for me." So grab a pen and paper, we're doing this together. Let me paint a picture of what life looks like when you're guessing instead of knowing. You're staring at a blank page trying to figure out what to write. You're second guessing every headline, every email subject line, every social media post. You're asking yourself, should I say solutions? Should I say services? Should I mention the features or the benefits? What do they actually care about? Meanwhile, your competitors who are crushing it, they're not guessing. They know exactly what their customers are thinking because they asked them. Let's take a look at 2 examples of messaging. Here's an example of a headline that you'll commonly find on a website. And here's a very different and more rare type of headline. Which one would make you stop scrolling? The second one, right? Because it sounds like something a real person would think, not something that was decided in a boardroom. This is the magic of magnetic messaging, and it's the foundation of the complete system we implement with our accelerator clients to help them scale. When you stop guessing and start knowing, everything changes. Your conversion rates jump, your sales calls get easier, your marketing actually works. But here's the kicker. Most businesses never ever have a single real conversation with their customers about how they think and how they feel. They're flying blind. So simply getting inside their heads, you already have a leg up on your competitors who are using stale messaging built on guesswork. Right now, I want you to think about your current messaging. Do your words reflect what your customers are actually saying and thinking, or are you just guessing? Whether you're completely guessing or you've got some idea of their thoughts or you've almost got it figured out, here's the simple fix that will elevate your messaging into a money multiplier. All right, here's what we're going to do together. I'm going to give you the exact framework we use with our accelerator clients to extract messaging gold from customer conversations. Get this framework right and everything else gets exponentially easier. Now, around that circle, I want you to draw 6 smaller circles. These represent the 6 sources of messaging gold that most businesses completely ignore. These are the 6 high-impact places you can pull commonly used words and phrases straight from your clients. Now, here's where most people go wrong. They think they need to collect feedback from all 6 sources before they can do anything. Wrong. You can start with just one source and see immediate improvements. For this exercise, we're going to focus on client experience interviews because this is the very first thing we do with a client to nail their messaging. And here's the beautiful part. Even if you don't have customers yet, you can interview people in your target market. Find people who have the problem you solve and ask them about their experience. Now let me give you the complete client experience interview template we use with our accelerator clients. These are the 6 biggest questions we use to extract everything you need to know. So if you're a business coach, a client might say, I was working 70-hour weeks, but I felt like I was drowning. Every day I was putting out fires. A fitness coach's client might say, I've been where my clients are. When I help someone transform their confidence, their whole life changes. A business coaching client might say, you don't just give me a theory, you show me exactly what to do next, step by step. They might tell you, case studies sealed it for me, seeing that a company went from $2 million to $8 million using your system. A client could say, you're always available when I need you. It feels like having a business partner who's invested in my success. They might tell you, I took a 2-week vacation and the business actually grew while I was gone. 6 months ago, I couldn't even leave for a day. These questions give you everything, their plain language, their transformation language, their decision-making process, and how they actually talk about solutions like yours. Now, most people think they need to interview 50 people to get valuable insights. Wrong. It's all about the quality over quantity. We typically interview 4 to 5 ideal customers, and that's enough to extract patterns. This 6-source, 9-step messaging framework is one of the most powerful tools in our accelerator system. When you systematically collect customer language from these sources, you discover the exact emotional triggers that convert every stage of the journey. Now here's where the real magic happens. Most people do the interviews, but then they don't know what to analyze. Before we dive into what each question reveals, you need to understand the most important principle, parroting. You need to use the exact words, their exact phrasing, their exact emotional language. Don't translate it into business speak. If they say systems, use systems. If they say getting organized, don't change it to operational efficiency. If they say grow my business, don't switch it to scale your company. This is how you learn what jargon is acceptable and what isn't. Listen to how they phrase things. Do they say make more money or increase revenue? Use their phrasing, not yours. Using this parroting technique is the foundation of everything we're about to analyze. Now let's start with the transformation map. Questions 1 and 6 give you a complete before and after journey. This is where you discover what your customers are really buying. When Nick at an auto performance parts company asked, what do you love most about modifying your car? Their customer said, take a car you already like and make it more about representing you. Your own style, your own taste, your own input. Tell other people what you are. See what happened there? He didn't say vehicle performance enhancement. He said representing you and telling people what you are. That's your headline language right there. Question 2 reveals the emotional drivers that most businesses completely miss. Gary at a luxury jewelry company discovered this when customers said, I want jewelry that expresses my individuality, and everyone wants a bit of sparkle. Notice they didn't talk about GIA certification or technical specifications. They wanted sparkle, not brilliance. That word sparkle, that's pure emotional gold. This becomes your messaging foundation. Add sparkle to your life. It's infinitely harder than premium diamonds. Questions 4 and 5 reveal what actually drives decisions versus what you think drives them. The same customer said, I look at the longevity of how long they've been in business, their customer relationships, an actual phone number for customer service I can literally call. Gary's customers revealed something big. They talked about pieces that won't break and wanting timeless, beautiful, unique pieces, not durability ratings or craftsmanship specifications. Question 3 gives you your entire positioning framework, and here's where it gets really interesting. Janine at a cultural training company discovered something powerful when she asked, "What's the most enticing part of what we do?" Their customers said, expertise, lived experience, perspective, authenticity, non-confrontational, future-based approach. Notice they didn't say diversity training or cultural education. They said authenticity and lived experience. That's the language that resonates. The key to all this is systematic parroting across every question. Use their exact words for headlines, benefits, positioning, objections, and testimonials. Don't translate anything into business speak. If they say led by engineers, not businessmen, that's your positioning. If they say sparkle, don't change that to brilliance. If they say won't break, don't translate that to durable construction. This systematic analysis is how we create messaging that converts at every stage in the customer journey in our accelerator. We map customer language across all 9 stages of the buying journey, extracting insights from each question to build complete customer avatars and messaging frameworks that speak directly to how your market actually thinks and feels. Let me tell you about Asureti, a cybersecurity and compliance firm that was struggling to stand out in a crowded market. They were all using the typical industry language that sounded professional, but just didn't connect. Their old homepage said, "Practiced and proven, trust our experts to develop custom, cost-effective solutions to your security, risk, and compliance challenges so that you can get back to what matters most, your business." Professional, credible, and completely forgettable. It could have been any security company in the world. Their clients never used the common buzzwords like cost-effective solutions or security challenges. Instead, they revealed what they were really buying. We got responses like, "They don't add extra burden, they carry the load. They are my GRC team. Risk is their Rosetta Stone. They speak the language and help you get things done faster. They help me communicate what I need to the C-suite. If I didn't have them, I would have to hire 10 expensive experts." See what's happening? These clients weren't buying security consulting. They were buying the ability to focus on their real business. They were buying peace of mind. They were buying a team that they could trust to handle everything. So let's look at the transformation piece by piece. First, the main headline. Before, practiced and proven. After, partner with a GRC team you can trust. This came directly from their customer who said, "They are my GRC team," and another who used the word partner. We used a trust element from the security director who said, "They don't add extra burden, they carry the load." Second, how they described their expertise and offer. A customer said he hated consultants who just copy and paste deliverables and bill for a senior consultant, but send someone with just 2 years of experience. Before, they called themselves security experts with custom, cost-effective solutions. After, they used their customers' exact words. "We don't copy and paste, we'll work with you until we get it and provide you with deliverables anyone in your company can understand." Third, they addressed the objections their customers revealed in their Asureti difference. Before, these objections were not addressed. After, Asureti's new messaging directly addresses this. "We manage the project from top to bottom. We move quickly. Risk is our Rosetta Stone. We help you communicate in a language your business understands. We arm you with what you need. We grow with you." The transformation was complete. Every piece of messaging came directly from customer interviews. Their headlines, their positioning, their objection handling, their benefits, all customer language. Same expertise, same services, completely different language. That's the power of going from the source instead of guessing. And here's what happened as a result. Asureti started attracting better qualified prospects who understood exactly what they were buying. Their conversion rate on large contracts increased because prospects were sold on value. Most importantly, their lifetime value increased as they began closing much larger deals with clients who saw them as a strategic partner, not just another vendor. When you use customer language instead of industry jargon, you don't just get more leads, you get better leads. You don't just close more deals, you close bigger deals. That's the power of client experience interviews in action. Here's your takeaway. Stop guessing what customers want to hear. Start speaking their language. Master your message and master your market. Here's what I want you to do right now, and this is important. Don't just watch this video and move on. That's what most people do, and that's why most people stay stuck guessing. First, pick one person that you can interview this week, just one, and it could be a current customer, a past customer, or someone in your target market who's never bought from you before. Second, ask them these 6 questions. Record the conversation if you can, but at minimum, write down their exact words. Don't paraphrase, use their language. Third, look for emotional words and phrases. Circle them. Those are your new headlines, your new email subject lines, and your new ad copy. This 9-step messaging framework with its 6 sources is the cornerstone of the complete client acquisition system we've developed with our accelerator clients over the past 5 years. Client experience interviews are just one of those sources, but they are the very first thing we do because we refuse to guess. When you stop guessing and start knowing what your customers are actually thinking, everything changes. Your messaging hits harder, your sales calls get easier, your marketing actually works. Comment below and tell me who you're going to interview this week. I read every comment and I'll personally respond with specific advice for your situation. And if you want personalized client interview experience questions to turn your messaging into a money multiplier, check the link in the description. You'll enter some basic details and we'll send you an AI-powered tool to generate custom interview questions tailored to your audience. Remember, anyone who comes up with messaging is just guessing. Winners go to the source. Your customers are waiting to tell you exactly what to say. Go ask them. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.